This presentation discusses available Michigan Catholic school funding from the state or public school district. The Archdiocese of Detroit is a Latin Church territory or archdiocese of the Catholic Church covering the counties of Lapeer, Macomb, Monroe, Oakland, St. Clair, and Wayne in Michigan. No revenue typically is provided by or through the diocese or superintendent's offices in Catholic schools. Therefore, most of the money is acquired at the school level in the form of tuition, which becomes local funding. The remainder of this presentation references the availability of state funds for non-public schools. Everson versus Board of Education, 1947, the United States Supreme Court upheld public subsidies for student transportation to non-public schools as a benefit to children. This case authorized public transportation for non-public school students. For transportation services, Catholic schools in Michigan participate with the public schools in which their student resides. Therefore, the public bears the cost of this service. The public school bears the cost of this service. So transportation costs become a non-monetary support for Catholic schools. Michigan's non-public schools are reimbursed on an equal basis with public schools for school bus safety education costs incurred for the benefit of school bus drivers. In Michigan, public schools are not required to provide textbooks to non-public schools. Michigan non-public schools provide their own textbooks. Non-public schools are exempt from the Michigan general sales tax for the sale of textbooks sold to or from the use of students enrolled in any part of a kindergarten through 12th grade program. Non-public schools may participate in the Michigan Merit Examination if they contact the Michigan Department of Education and register on time. Health examinations or services provided to elementary and secondary students must be provided on an equal basis to children in public and non-public schools. Catholic school personnel should check to see if they are eligible for Medicaid funding. In Zobrist versus Catalina Foothills School District in 1993, the U.S. Supreme Court overturned a prior law on government spending for auxiliary services to private schools and students. This case allowed government funding for certain services based on student need. Thus, a public school that provides auxiliary services to its resident students must provide services for students attending non-public schools on an equal basis. Auxiliary services include remedial reading and other services determined by the state legislature. A public school is required to notify non-public schools in its district of auxiliary services it will provide no later than April 1 each year. Non-public schools must inform the public school in writing within 30 days if any of the services are needed by the non-public school students. The public school must confirm the nature and extent of the services that will be provided no later than August 1st. Educational media centers operated by intermediate school districts to provide teaching materials and services may serve non-public schools. Vouchers and tax credit scholarships give parents the freedom to choose a private school for their children using all or part of the public funding set aside for their children's education. Under such a program, funds typically expended by a school district would be allocated to a participating family in the form of a voucher to pay partial or full tuition for their child's private school, including both religious and non-religious options. However, in Michigan, a recent court case ruled against families receiving state vouchers for their child's non-public school tuition. Private funds from foundations, trusts, and the dioceses may bolster revenue for Catholic schools. This concludes the presentation on public state funds for Catholic schools in Michigan.